Things are escalating day on day in the run-up to poll-bound West Bengal. Politics before the Bengal elections is truly just heating up before people's eyes with each passing day. Bengal BJP chief Dilip Ghosh's Facebook post seeking revenge after yesterday's attack on the BJP chief's convoy has sparked controversy. Taking a dig at Mamta's pre-2011 slogan, "We want change, not revenge," Dilip Ghosh in his post says that change will happen and so will revenge in 2021. The politics of Badla, basically. He's attacked the Trinamool and said they can beat us as much as they want, but they must remember that they will get it back with interest in the future. Another Bengal BJP leader, Sayantan Basu, has also issued a threat, reminding the Trinamool of a dialogue from the Sholay film. He says that if you kill one of us, we will kill four of yours. So a lot of murderous threats and rhetoric is now being mainstreamed in the political battleground of West Bengal.
सवाल ये नहीं है, सवाल गलती कोई भी करे, गलती हो सकती है। प्रति गलती को संरक्षण प्रदेश का मुखिया दे तो ये चिंता की बात है और कोई बात नहीं। कल अगर घटना हो गई, टीएमसी के लोगों ने अगर पथराव कर दिया तो मुख्यमंत्री को अपने बड़प्पन का ध्यान रखते हुए उन कार्यकर्ताओं की निंदा करना चाहिए थी, पर उल्टा उन्होंने नड्डा जी के ऊपर आरोप लगा दिया और जिस शब्दों का, जिस दरिद्र भाषा का उपयोग किया गया, मैं समझता हूँ बहुत शर्मनाक है और किसी मुख्यमंत्री से हम ऐसी अपेक्षा नहीं करते।
आज के बीजेपी जेपी नड्डा এসে ডায়মন্ড হারবারে গিয়ে গাড্ডায় পড়েছে। তা আমি কি করতে পারি? সাধারণ মানুষের ক্ষোভের বহিঃপ্রকাশের দায়িত্ব তো আমার নয়। লকডাউনের সময় মানুষের খোঁজ নেননি আপনারা। কখনো জিএসটি, কখনো নোটবন্দি, কখনো একাধিক জনবিরোধী প্রকল্পগুলো করে মানুষের জীবনের দিনের পর দিন আপনারা অন্ধকার নিয়ে এসেছেন। একদিন খোঁজ নেননি। কবার অমিত শাহ এসছে লকডাউনে? আপনারা বলুন আমাকে। कबर जेपी नड्डा के अपना लॉकडाउन में समय देखते बेचने कल्याण मनोज जी कवर देखते।
देखिए, ये शब्दावली जो ममता जी की है, ये उनके संस्कारों के बारे में बताता है। दिस स्पीक्स वॉल्यूम्स अबाउट हर पर्सनैलिटी, अबाउट हर कल्चर, अबाउट द ट्रेडिशंस इन विच शी इज ब्रॉट अप। सो शी हैज टू आंसर दैट क्वेश्चन।
তোমার দলের লোককে দিয়ে তুমি নাটক তৈরি করছো, তোমার দলের লোককে দিয়ে তুমি নাটক সাজাচ্ছ। টুইটারে ধরা পড়েছিল কে? ফেক টুইট করার জন্য তোমার আইটি কোম্পানি, ভুলে যেও না, ডোন্ট ফরগেট অল দিস।
বদলা শুরু হয়ে যাচ্ছে। ওই যে কালি লাগিয়েছে, এটা সামান্য উদাহরণ একটা। 16 সিনেমার ডায়লগ শুনেছেন তো, এক মারোগে তো हम चार मारेंगे। বিজেপি চাইলে তৃণমূল কংগ্রেসের কোনো নেতাদের পশ্চিমবঙ্গের বাইরে বেরোনো বন্ধ করে দিতে পারে। কেউ বেরোতে পারবে না, সব এখানে ইঁদুরের মতো গর্তে লুকিয়ে থাকে।
ये बहुत ही अनफॉर्चुनेट है, लेकिन अगर हम लोग को कोई मारने आएगा तो बदला के बदले में तो बदला ही होगा। अगर कोई मारेगा तो उसके बदले में हम लोग भी मारेंगे, ये कोई भी हो। कल डायमंड हार्बर में आप लोग देखे हैं कि क्या माने अवस्था में और कितना नीचा उतर के माननीय मुख्यमंत्री ये कर रही है। हम लोग भी ताज्जुब बन गए कि नेशनल प्रेसिडेंट को भी वो नहीं छोड़ेंगे।
By violence, and the resonance of that is going to be felt for a very long time. After BJP President JP Nadda and Bengal in charge Kailash Vijayvargiya's convoys were violently attacked yesterday in South 24 Parganas, the Home Ministry under Amit Shah has summoned the West Bengal Police Chief and the Chief Secretary to appear before him on Monday. Governor Jagdeep Dhankar has also submitted his report to the Ministry of Home Affairs. Sources say that the governor has told the centre that there wasn't adequate security arrangements for the convoy. He's also claimed that security protocols weren't followed despite prior information of JP Nadda's visit. Prime Minister Modi spoke to the BJP chief and also to Kailash Vijayvargiya to inquire about their well-being. Kailash Vijayvargiya had claimed to have been injured in a minor way. Furious over the attack against their leaders, BJP workers in several parts of India have taken to the streets to protest. Meanwhile, a month after his Bengal outreach, Home Minister Amit Shah will be visiting the state again on the 19th and 20th of December.
Has Mamta ji become so desperate? We are proud of our democracy. You can differ. But this has rarely been heard, that the All India President of the ruling party, which is ruling the country and so many states, has to suffer these kinds of violent attacks. He was saved by Providence. Other senior friends like Kailash Vijayvargiya and many others, including media people, did suffer. Maybe his bulletproof car saved him. Therefore, does it show the sheer desperation of Mamta ji? If that's the case, then I will only tell you, I still believe that you fought the violence of the left to come to power. If you are exceeding their violence, you will suffer from the people in a much strident manner. Watch the left suffered.
Violation of the Constitution. This is without jurisdiction. This is colorable exercise of power. This is a colorable exercise of power, and behind the entire thing, there is a malice. There is a malice on the part of the central government, and there is a malafide attitude on the part of the central government officers by sending this letter. This is deplorable. One can just deprecate it, the way the things are doing by the central government.
Okay, West Bengal Governor Jagdeep Dhankar has blasted Mamta Banerjee in a fashion that he's become accustomed to doing over the attack on the BJP President JP Nadda's convoy. Yesterday, he held a press conference today and said that the attack signals the death of democracy in Bengal. He appealed to the Mamta Banerjee government and to the Chief Minister herself to apologize for her remarks on JP Nadda, calling her observation unfortunate. She had basically said that the attack yesterday on the BJP chief was tamasha or nautanki. Well, the governor further added that if the Chief Minister of Bengal diverts from the constitution, then he will always intervene. Governor Dhankar also slammed Mamta on her outsider comment. He said that calling citizens of India outsiders is playing with fire. Meanwhile, Trinamool MP Mahua Maitra has called Dhankar BJP's unelected hatchet man masquerading as a governor.
Talking of outsiders, what is meant by this? ये बाहर का है. हम कहां जा रहे हैं? Madam Chief Minister, please don't play with fire of this nature. The events that happened yesterday are most unfortunate. They are a slur on our democratic fabric.
গভর্নরের কথাতে দেখুন উত্তর দিতে আর ভালো লাগে না, বোর হয়ে গেছি আমরা। উই আর বোর। গভর্নরের কথাতে আমরা একদম উত্তর দিতে চাই না। উনি ডেলি প্রেস করতে ভালোবাসেন, আপনাদের ডাকতে ভালোবাসেন। আপনারা না ডাকলেও এমনি এমনি আর গেলেও আপনাকে ডেকে কিছু না কিছু দেবে। আমরা তা ভালোবাসি না। আমি শুধু একটাই কথা বলতে পারি যে হি ইজ দ্য কন্ডিউট পাইপ অফ ভারতীয় জনতা পার্টি।
Let's take a look at the big attacks, because this has been a non-stop developing story in West Bengal, which is surprising to many because the elections are still 5 months away. But it looks like rhetoric and politics has already peaked, including with these violent attacks. Take a look at the big attacks on Mamta now by the Bengal governor, who actually held a separate press conference for this purpose. Okay, so the first attack by the governor was that the attack on the BJP president was a slur on democracy. The second attack by him is that the attack signals death of democracy in West Bengal. The third attack, that violators were supported by state actors. The fourth was that the Chief Minister's observation against the BJP president was unfortunate. The fifth was an apology by Mamta will raise her stature. The sixth attack was taken serious note of Mamta's statement, and so on and so on. So this is basically the governor of West Bengal, who's been accused by many within the Trinamool of being a hatchet man for the BJP, holding a separate press conference. These are the questions we're asking. Let's put the governor aside for a moment and ask these, the big questions. How will the BJP counter the Trinamool after Thursday's attack? Will violence escalate in the run-up to the polls? Because all we've seen is a cycle of violence, a tutu meme of blame between both sides, but nothing actually stopping the violence from happening. Has violence been normalized in West Bengal politics, especially in the run-up to this election? Who will prevent political violence? With the Chief Minister yesterday labeling the attack on the BJP chief on her turf as nautanki, who is responsible for making sure that violence doesn't actually happen. Joining me live now, Priyanka Tibrewal, spokesperson of the BJP. Biswajit Deb is spokesperson of the Trinamool Congress. Biswajit Deb, coming to you first. After calling the attack on the BJP chief's convoy Nautanki yesterday, Mamata Banerjee has, perhaps escalated this situation to an even bigger level now. I don't want to... I apologize. That's Manojit Mandal who's with us. I apologize for that. Manojit, welcome. Priyanka, welcome. Manojit, that question was actually for you, which is that a day after, the word Nautanki was used by the Chief Minister of West Bengal on this pretty vicious attack on the BJP chief in West Bengal. You now have Amit Shah, the Home Minister, summoning the DGP and the Chief Secretary there. This has been taken very seriously, and people watching from the outside are wondering whether things are only going to escalate from here on.
You see, Shiv, I believe that this is classic case of a Shakespearean Macbeth. The plot thickens. The plot which was hatched long ago when this particular governor was sent to Bengal on 31st July 2019. He was sent with a specific plot. Gradually, I think now the plot is thickening. They are preparing the ground for presidential rules, and otherwise this kind of summons issued to the state officers without any jurisdiction, as it was made quite clear by the Nagaland MP from TMC, Mr. Kailash Vijayvargiya. How do you look at that? I mean, continuously for the last 1 year, even more than 1 year, this particular governor, I think, who is still a very honorable person, he has been taking on his own government by breaking all kinds of tradition and norms. And
I'll come to the governor in a moment.
Let me expose him first, Shiv. He started calling praise to his own governor's house. This is completely unprecedented in the history of governorship in India. In Bengal, I would say that we have seen many such governors. Even the earlier governor, who was also a BJP appointee, he still had some kind of courtesy, decency, never had any kind of praise briefing from the governor's house. And on top of this, Shiv, when the people from other side are getting killed, when the people from other side are attacked, even Abhishek Banerjee's house was attacked in Delhi, Banga Bhavan, which has got nothing to do with political party, it was attacked in Delhi. You show me a single tweet condemning those incidents.
Okay.
So I think the accusation from Trinamool is very, very true. It is only reflecting in his attitude that he has been appointed as a BJP officer.
Priyanka, since Manojit has launched directly into the governor, let's settle that matter first. Priyanka, the Trinamool says that Governor Jagdeep Dhankar is a hatchet man for the BJP. He isn't behaving like a governor in the first place. He's behaving like a BJP appointee, doing the bidding of the BJP, holding press conferences and doing nothing else but attack Mamata Banerjee. You can respond to that since Manojit raised that point and the governor held that press conference today.
What is an honorable governor who is watching all this, the lawlessness situation in the state, supposed to do? Should he be a mere spectator, or should he also speak in the tune of the violence, the corrupted party in West Bengal, which is TMC? He is doing his duty as a governor, and I think he knows much more better than Manojit Mandal that what are the duties of a governor, and he's following the same. See, there was an urgent need to remind Mamata Banerjee, to caution her as to what is the oath which she had taken when she was sitting on the chair as a chief minister, which she has completely forgotten. When she had sworn on the constitution that she would follow and take India, and we all resolved to the preamble, calling it a secular, sovereign, socialist country. But Mamata Banerjee has forgotten all this. She has forgotten what is the meaning of democracy, and going to an extent where, after what has all happened, before the investigation is completed, she says that it is the natak done by the opposition. What do you expect from a lawless state like this and a lawless chief minister at whose behest things like this in the state are proceeding? So this is high time that the governor needs to take a stand. And yes, he's doing what he needs to do, sitting on his chair.
Okay. Manojit, you've heard some of the things that have been said today. We saw violence taking place yesterday, and we've seen some you know, some pretty disturbing phrases being used on both sides, whether it is Kalyan Banerjee, whether it is the Chief Minister yesterday, whether it is Dilip Ghosh today, whether it is, you know, the nephew of the Chief Minister as well, invoking, you know, many sort of unparliamentary things. It looks like the language of this, you know, the language of abuse and violence has also been mainstreamed. Manojit.
You see, I think probably it's difficult for me to translate what Mamta and Mr. Banerjee talked about. It's Gadda, Nadda. It's some kind of, you can call, sort of uncouth, nursery, rhyme-like thing, in Bengali. But you take them seriously, so seriously that the governor is asking the chief minister to apologize. You take this incident, the incident is disturbing, what happened yesterday. You take it so seriously that you need to, in a sense, call the officers of the state, highest officer. We are not condoning the perpetrators of this incident.
Okay.
They must be arrested. But, does it occasion this kind of response from the governor? And when Mr. Dilip Ghosh can use what he said for the last 2-3 years, ever since he became president of the party in Bengal, there's not a single admonishment for him. Why only taking on Mamta Banerjee?
Okay.
Yes. Mr. Governor, you have also taken the oath of the same constitution. Why are your consciences colored? You cannot have colored conscience. And since you have a colored conscience, I think you can have a narrative. I'm giving you the specifics. Let me find out or show me a single tweet when the TMC is in the receiving end. Then I'll take the allegation back. I will not support what the TMC is saying.
You want to answer that, Priyanka? Priyanka, you want to answer that, and also on basically the Trinamool is saying that the words and the phrases that were used by Trinamool leaders has been tame satirical stuff like Nadda and Gadda and stuff like that. But the language being used by BJP leaders, including Dilip Ghosh and Shayantan and others, is violent and murderous. There's a difference, says the Trinamool.
Move away from what has happened. It is not just the language which he had used yesterday. It is about the entire incident which took place yesterday. See, as Mr. Manojit Mandal was saying, that it is very unprecedented. Many things are very unprecedented. Such moves by the governor in no other state has ever happened. Let me also remind him that such attacks on the president of a national party is also unprecedented. It has never happened in the history of India.
Such
violence, such political murders has never happened in the history of India. These are also very unprecedented, Mr. Manojit Mandal. So please take care of that as well. And moreover, what has happened, instead of talking about it, instead of saying that no, it should be investigated, you are doing rhymings on the stage. Look at the body language of the chief minister. It speaks volume about her background.
Okay. No, because the chief minister has made it very, very personal and about herself as well, Manojit. Don't you think so? The Trinamool can accuse the BJP of escalating this and the pot calling the kettle black, etc., etc. But to have your chief attacked in this manner in West Bengal, I mean, why is the Trinamool so surprised by the reaction from the BJP?
What does one do on chief? For the last 1 year, even more, I've told you that he has been consistently taking on Mamta, her governance. And let me tell you, if there is violence on the ground in the local level, yes, we do acknowledge. Let me show a single.
But the chief minister called it Nautanki yesterday.
Let me make my point.
Chief minister called it Nautanki yesterday. There is a problem there.
I'll come to this point. I want this governor or this honorable governor to show me a single instance when he has tried to play the role of a neutral umpire by calling all the political parties. He's enjoying the violence, as it were. I'm sorry to say this. We had seen a governor in the form of Mr. Gopal Krishna Gandhi, where the single education took place. Please let me make my point, madam. Let me make my point. Please don't shout.
Priyanka, let him finish. I'll give you time.
I am not shouting.
Priyanka, let him finish. You can give a comprehensive rebuttal. Yeah.
You see, many of these spokespersons or supporters, whoever, even in TV studios, they are provoking us.
We are not getting provoked. We are all friends here.
Let me complete my point. Let me complete my point.
Finish your point.
I want this governor as a citizen of this country. as a resident of Kolkata, I want this governor to take the plunge and calling all the political parties and sit together eye to eye. See, show me a single effort by this governor in neutralizing the whole issue. If he feels that continuously law and
You're saying that he's provoking it even more.
Are involved. Politics, yes. He's not just even, he has already taken a stand.
Okay.
A stand which is so heavily biased towards BJP. I have given you the instances. Let them prove otherwise. I will take back.
Priyanka, the allegation, this is an allegation that has come quite a few times before this. You've already said that the governor knows his job and he's basically calling it out like he sees it. But what Manojit says is, and this is, a lot of people might agree with this, is when you've got such a vitiated political atmosphere, perhaps the governor needs to rise above one party or the other and try and, be a sort of healing institution rather than pointing fingers. That's what they're saying.
I think the governor has made best of his attempts. Mamata Banerjee do not respond to the letters. Mamata Banerjee doesn't respond to the calls made by the governor. She doesn't feel that it is an important post or it's an important chair which she should address. Even when she's called, she refuses to answer back. So in that case, in that scenario, the government is doing best what he can. But apart from that, let me also say that today there has been a big acceptance by Manojit Mandal. He has accepted that there is violence which is being done by the TMC. He just mentioned that when he was speaking last. Let me also tell you, there is an acceptance. You can just rewind and see what he just said. Let me also say that Mr. Manojit Mandal feels that, whatever happened yesterday was nothing much, nothing big. Now, because they are used to the new normal where everyone or somebody or the other should be killed. So they feel that since nobody was killed yesterday, no casualty took place. So he feels that no, it is a new normal for them. So nothing much took place. Then they would have spoken. Then they would have taken the action.
Okay, Manojit, answer that. Look, the larger picture here, of course, and I'd like to come in on that, is that violence is being mainstreamed. It's become normalized now. It's like almost like an attack like this is par for the course in election season.
During the Panchayat election, the most number of people killed from was TMC. Before the parliamentary election, 2019 February, please don't laugh on someone's death, madam. Please don't laugh. This is not madam. Before the parliament election, before the parliamentary election, I have got the record.
I question you. You are in government. Why are people dying? Why are people dying? It is your responsibility to make sure that people don't die during elections.
Finish my point. Be courteous, madam.
Finish your point.
Before the 2019 election, one very popular MP by the name of Satyajit Mishra, he was killed. And do you know who was charged because of killing? Mr. Mukul Roy. And look at this government. The political courtesy. What is political courtesy? Mukul Roy is charged and still he's looming. He's at large. This is the political courtesy. This is because we believe in the process of law. And if you say that the violence is there, then accept the other part of my statement. Both the parties are involved. Have the courage to accept that. And the governor as a neutral, organization, umpire, whatever, he must call all the political parties like we have seen during the time of Mr. Gopal Krishna Gandhi. When Singur agitation was taking place, he called both the political parties, DMC and the ruling party.
Are you saying that both the parties are involved in this violence at the workers' level then?
But this governor, yes, local level, some violence is taking place. I have no comment in accepting that. They will not accept. They don't have the courage to accept it. Because the TMC people are also, day before yesterday, one person was killed in Nadia district. Show me a single tweet by the governor. Show me a single tweet by the governor when this person was killed by the BJP in Nadia district.
Well, you've established what you said about the governor being selective. Priyanka, you've got Manojit Mandal saying, yes, there is violence that's happening on both sides. Will the BJP admit its role and its part in what's happening, the fighting that's taking place, at least at the workers' level between the two parties?
Okay, I heard what Mr. Manojit Mandal just said. Now I am answering, and if he has the guts, ask him to accept my challenge. Yes, there was violence during Panchayat elections, although he addresses that all those who died were TMC workers. I question him, you are in the government. Why did anybody for that matter have to die because of violence? What is your government doing? What is your police doing? These elections took place when the West Bengal Police was there, supposed to do their duty, which they have failed. So now would you accept my challenge? The elections are again coming. The West Bengal Police should be ousted from this election. Let the elections be taken place under the Election Commission and let the CRPF be there. Will you do it? Do you have the guts to accept it? No, you won't, because the violence has been done by you and your party. Now also let me answer to another point. You see, there is a video where Mamata Banerjee, yesterday the incident where it took place, the MLA, Mr. Molla from that place, you know, Mamata Banerjee on a video is saying that, Molla, you use a lot of bombs. The video is there where Mamata Banerjee is saying that he uses bombs.
Let's deal with the first part of what you said first, Priyanka.
Why he was not thrown out from the Legislative Assembly when there is an acceptance by the Chief Minister?
No, this is, I just want to say as a democracy...
Let me reply. No, I need to reply.
Yeah, you can reply on that first part, Manojit. We'll deal with that second part if we have time. The first part is on the trust deficit before the election has even happened. The campaign hasn't even really begun in earnest, but you've got the BJP already casting judgment on the manner in which these elections are going to be held because of the violence that has been taking place right now.
She talked about law and orders, as the state subject maintenance. We know that. But what is happening in other parts of the country? You say the same thing about Sonbhadra killing in 2019 when 17 tribals were brutally murdered in broad daylight. You say the same thing about the Delhi riots when 55 people were killed. What happened there? You say the same thing about what is happening in around Delhi right now.
Mr. Manojit Mandal, I am representing BJP for West Bengal.
Law and order is a state subject.
I am speaking about Manojit Mandal. You are a TMC supporter. You are not the supporter of the entire party. You are not the spokesperson for any party.
Okay.
We are speaking about BJP TMC in West Bengal. Please speak about the same.
How she is muddling my voice. You need to be a responsible political party.
Madam, you do not have answer to the facts.
I'm almost out of time.
You are supposed to be the biggest political party in the world. You are supposed to be the biggest political party in the world and look at the kind of responsibility.
You don't have, because whatever you are saying, you don't have perfect answers to my questions. That is why you're shouting. Listen, you aspire to points, answers to my questions. What are you saying about Rajasthan? What are you saying about Jharkhand? What are you saying about Uttar Pradesh? For Bengal, you don't have answers. You are supposed to sit and answer about West Bengal.
What's happening in West Bengal? I just wanted to say that what's happening in West Bengal is having a resonance everywhere. It's having a resonance certainly here in Delhi.
Political party claims to be the biggest political party in the world.
We've just
look at the kind of responsibility they are showing in Bengal.
We've just seen effigy burning of Mamata Banerjee taking place in the national capital. Amit Shah, the Home Minister, has summoned both the Director General of Police as well as the Chief Secretary of West Bengal. So this is by no means an incident that's going to be sort of swept under the carpet. There's no going beyond this. The BJP is going to capitalize on it. That's the nature of politics. It's going to happen in a state which the BJP has made no bones of saying it would like to see a victory, an election victory in. So we're going to have to see where this actually leads. Stay with me, Manojit and Priyanka, for a moment. But we're getting some news just coming in now here on 5 Live from West Bengal. The Chief Secretary of West Bengal has written to the Home Secretary, the Union Home Secretary, and said appropriate security arrangements were indeed made for the BJP President JP Nadda, who was attacked in his convoy yesterday. 3 FIRs have been registered in the matter and 7 persons have already been arrested. So the Chief Secretary has written to the Union Home Secretary and said it was not a matter of inadequate security provision for the BJP President. Okay. Priyanka, you want to react to that? A response from the Bengal government, the administration rather, to the Union Home Ministry saying that the allegations that inadequate security was provided to JP Nadda are untrue.
See, now I would like to respond by saying that either whatever they said yesterday, that was untrue, or what they are saying today is untrue. Yesterday they said, even the Chief Minister said that she didn't know who Nadda Bhadda Sadda is coming here. She didn't know about his program. She didn't know about his arrival. And today they say that adequate arrangements were made. So who is lying? Was the Chief Minister lying yesterday, or is the Chief Secretary lying today?
Manojit, you want to answer that? It's true. She was very dismissive of JP Nadda. And today her administration says adequate security was provided.
She was He was in a political rally which was very emotive because the issue was regarding the farmers. And one that they have taken action. Even the principal accused of Manish Shukla's murder, he was arrested yesterday only. These people say that nothing happened, and I want them to tell us how many people are arrested because of the Sonbhodro killing, which was a mass murder.
See, he has no answer. I told you he will not answer.
2019.
Did Mamata Banerjee lie yesterday, or is the Chief Secretary lying today? Please answer to the point.
You can't be. I have answered. They have taken action.
No, you didn't. You didn't. Mamata Banerjee was lying yesterday, right?
Highest officer of the state, he has taken action.
Mamata Banerjee was lying yesterday.
You don't believe in this.
Okay, so he accepts Mamata Banerjee was lying yesterday.
The union,
You want to aspire to rule Bengal. And you are not a responsible opposition.
8 days from now. 8 days from now, ladies and gentlemen.
You are accepting that Mamata Banerjee was lying yesterday.
That is the tragedy of Bengal. That Bengal has got a sort of devastating and violent political party.
I'm going to just step in here because I'm out of time. Manojit and Priyanka, I'm out of time. I just want to say that we've covered all the developments that have happened between yesterday and today. The atmosphere is climbing. Temperatures are rising. And, one doesn't see an end to this spiral until the elections that are going to happen 6 months from now. Just a reminder to the both of you and to all of our viewers, of course, both of you would know it. Amit Shah, the Union Home Minister, is going to be in Bengal 8 days from now on a 2-day visit. He was there in Bengal recently during the Bihar elections as well. So you can expect things to go once again to the next level. This is a kind of atmosphere that is going to be maintained, I imagine, right through this. Yes, one quick line.
We welcome Mr. Amit Shah at this point in time. We will have a brand of Rasgulla. Nolan Gudkar Rasgulla.
Okay. Well, I'm sure he'll have a reply to that when he's there as well. But thank you.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.